Preacher's son, and when his daddy would visit, he'd come along. When they gathered around and started talking, Cousin Billy would take me walking. Out through the backyard we go walking. Then he looked into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man.
Buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car. Buy this car to drive to work to work.
Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today we're gonna Scott Ritter. We're gonna play this.
In the world of, high-level analysis, you got to change your assessment every day. That's why they call certain events game-changing events. That means that, you could be a sport analyst. I think the Patriots are going to do great this year. And they are. They're moving. Tom Brady breaks his leg. I don't think the Patriots are going to do as well as I thought they were going to do. Why? There was a game-changing event.
Well, that's in reference to his analysis of Donald Trump. See, Donald Trump was running for office. He's like, damn, it's the Patriots with Tom Brady. This is an easy call. Like, my prediction is it's viable. But then Tom Brady broke his leg. Now, what he's referring to there, I have no fucking clue. Anyone? Help? Anyone help? Did Trump? I don't get it. Was Trump's spirit broken like Jimmy Dors's? Or his spirit broken? Thus, he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do what I did the first 4 years, but faster. And get all the neocons on my team again. Little Marco, bring little Marco in here. I need a footstool. Get in here. That's right. Get on your knees. But first, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out. Read them. Share them. Donate. I know I'm an asshole. Forgive me, guys. But I'm trying to have some fun here, man. I'm bored. All right. For real, we're going to be reacting to Blue Moon Red Wine. It's a cool name. We're going to react to some Loosey Goose here. And title of the video, Scott Ritter has lost his mind. Now, I believe this is about in a Twitter exchange between, what was his guy's name, like Sonny or Sony, or I don't know the guy. But I guess he got dunked on. Politics, I don't care about that shit. Politics, bro. It's whatever. But hopefully, some actual points are made. Some legit points, hopefully. So let's react to Loosey Goose reacting to that Twitter exchange. Let's do it. Let's do it. I just dry aged some fingernails for 3 months. I know my fingernails don't look good right now, but watch this. Google Foods, man, come on. Anyways, let's do it.
I'm gonna talk today about how Scott.
She needs some volume here.
I'm really changing my topic up that much, but
Get him loose.
In the beginning I was outraged by this, and now I'm just like, whoa, somebody really has hit this guy's nerves. And
Get a little more volume.
Push the red button, that has made him explode into
pause.
Very unreasonable points of rage, and he's embarrassing himself at this point. So here is this is what Scott Ritter said.
For sure, I'm calling him Sony Thang. Sony Thang. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to call him that. Sony Thang. He'd probably be offended by that, but, listen. I crack jokes, right, ladies and gentlemen? Jesus. Here we go.
This is what Scott Ritter said. He says, the fact that Iran says it doesn't want nuclear weapons, the craziest thing, like, I did a last stream thinking that, I had to talk about, history and stuff to prove that Scott Ritter is not being logical. But at this point, you can just, like, quote him and just allow him to please keep going. Please keep embarrassing yourself. So this is
We call that they're wrecking themselves, Lucy, is where we usually... Like that Tom Brady shit we just heard, that is full-blown wreckage, bro. Because as far as I can see, the Penguins, he's got plenty of mobility. There should be no excuses for why he's neoconning his way through the world right now. And once again, that Sabby interview is not like... That's not 2 months ago. That was like yesterday, right? Or the day before.
Yeah.
So,
No, I think it was last week, actually.
Last week? No chance.
I think so.
Oh, maybe it was last week, and then...
Or maybe Monday. But yeah.
When I saw
it
the
was
clip.
in the last 7 days.
Okay.
The interview was done in the last 7 days.
Fair enough. I think I'm referring to the 59-minute version where it's just the interview instead of the live stream itself, which might be older than the release of the exclusive Scott Ritter interview portion. But whatever. Point is, it's not long enough ago to where this ain't a Tom Brady sprained his ankle. This is Tom Brady threw 59 interceptions in the first 3 weeks. And
Belichick didn't take him out.
Yeah, and Belichick's like, you keep going. Almost like they're throwing their season or something. Sports reference. Anyways, here we go. Go FanDuel.
This is what he says. He says, the fact that Iran says it doesn't want nuclear weapons is irrelevant to my point. Bingo. Thank you for your reply. You've made all my points for me. You are irrelevant to the real world. Iran is actively considering Trump's request for negotiations. That's the real world.
So pause
That's
that.
how you stop
So pause that. That's always his default position. Like that's the conclusion he's trying to reach. It's 5D chess to get the right policy. So Trump does something like saber rattle or whatever, or like talk in a certain way to Iran or officials. Like that's like egregious. One would have to say it is egregious, dangerous, not something you would do if you want to cultivate good relations with somebody.
Yes.
And somehow, some way, Scott is one of these people where like they somehow find a way to extrapolate the right policy decision from the shit Trump's doing, which is the opposite.
It's just
he's bullying them into coming to the negotiating table. Like it's like literally that's one of his examples.
Listen, if that's the case, why'd he pull out of the nuclear deal that was already, like, there was already a deal there, he pulled out of it?
It's reverse psychology. 6 years later.
Okay, got it.
Under his terms, the terms he wants.
I got it. There's a lot of gaslighting these politicians do, bro.
Because I've been trying to piece together shit he's saying, and I keep hearing that. That's always a jumping off point. Oh, he did that so they could get to the right policy. The EU, their incompetence led Trump to where he is now. And even though he's advocating for the wrong things, he's getting us closer to peace. That's essentially what Scott Ritter is saying in most scenarios that include foreign policy with Trump.
I mean, it's this weird gaslighting thing that politicians and then their dick riders do for them. And it's like I heard the same thing with... I was just doing all these videos on Bernie Sanders, where it's like, we need to bring Hamas to the table for a ceasefire. It's like, meanwhile, headlines all say, Hamas begging for ceasefire. Hamas begging for ceasefire. 6 months later, Hamas begging for ceasefire. 5 months later, Hamas begging for ceasefire. It's like Israel just keeps bombing and bombing and bombing. But someone keeps telling me Hamas doesn't want to come to the table.
Yeah.
Someone make that make sense. So Trump going, Iran, we're going to blame you for this. We're going to blame you for this. We're going to blame you for this. This when the Houthis bomb us, we're going to blame you for that shit. Meaning that is saber rattling straight up. It is neocon, push the envelope, boost up the tension and the threats. And meanwhile, Iran has already been sitting at the table like, we'll talk. We'll talk. Hey guys, we'll talk. Yo, the Houthis operate on their own. We're different than them. The Houthis are like, yo, we're not Iran. Iran's different than us. Like, but yet we're gonna sit here and pretend that because Trump's doing all this, that boom, now there's peace talks. Like, no, Iran's I think been willing to do this stuff. As we said, there was already a nuclear deal on the fucking table, and Trump pulled out of it. So this makes no sense. He pulled out of it to go back into it, but first he wants to bomb Yemen a little bit first. Like, what? I don't get it. But anyways, brilliant. 5, 8. Sorry, that's 20 D chess. 20 D chess. That's brilliant. Anyways, here we go.
That's the real world. That's how you stop a war. Not some new age mumbo jumbo about soul and conscious.
What?
I told you gotta watch this shit, bro.
What? I'm just gonna play. Okay.
And Iran is considering this request because of real-world power projection by the United States.
You see,
Power projection, which underscores how seriously the U.S. takes Iran's obligations under the NPT.
No, but you. Okay, non-proliferation treaty, right? But it's like there was a deal, and Trump was like, "Dude, you're getting too much of our money," meaning we're not sanctioning them enough. And we're giving them money that was withheld because of sanctions for a long time. It'd be like us and the UK working together, and we gave Venezuela its gold back, right? Oh, yeah. Dubster would be like, "Oh, look at these lefties give away our money to those guys." Like, no, it's actually their money. We've been just taking it and holding on to it the whole fucking time, allegedly. So, like, the Iran nuclear deal was already what? Okay, in Scott Ritter's world, I wish I could ask him this question. What does Iran get out of this? If Iran says, let's come to the table and let's negotiate something, what is Iran negotiating for? For Trump to stop tweeting about them? Like, what are they getting out of this? Does that, like, seriously, like, make sense of that? Like, what do they get out of it? All right, we'll stop doing this because you have angry tweets at us. So, you know what? We'll sign the deal. We'll sign a nuclear deal because your tweets are so threatening that we're just going to sign a deal. Whatever you offer, we'll take it. Which is supposed to be nothing because Obama actually gave them something, right? I'll give you money or whatever the fuck.
And Trump took it away.
So what the fuck is Trump going to offer them? All right, fellas, I'll stop threatening you on Twitter, okay? I'm done doing that.
He's sanctioned them too, right? He's also sanctioned.
Yes. And then you have the Strait of Hormuz and all, like, yes. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. But all right, here we go. It's nonsensical.
Treaties matter. The real world, not your world. According to Scott Ritter, the real world is a world in which U.S. power
I struggle with world too, Lucy.
Is
Don't worry
somehow
about it.
Justified. Right?
So
It's Lucy Goose, all right? I'm on our team.
yo holla. Yo holla.
And then this is Sony Thong. This is what he said.
It's
He
pronounced
said,
thong?
"Thank you for this final
Okay.
confession, and for perfectly illustrating the psychology of empire. You call power projection serious. You call coercion diplomacy. You call submission peace."
He's not wrong. Based on what Scott Ritter just said right there, This is what you're saying, dude. You're saying we need, like, if we want something done, we need to threaten someone into submission, basically.
Yep.
And that
100%.
is I've said that before about, like, it's something sounding Orwellian, where it's like war is peace, either the threat of war or actual war, and then we come to the negotiating table and we say, okay, let's not do this. Somehow war equals peace. I've only heard that in real life from quote unquote real life, someone like Matt Hunter, and trust me, you don't want that guy running foreign policy. So why the fuck is Scott Ritter essentially saying that? Maybe with a little bit more magical 5D chess to it, but war is peace, apparently. Threaten your enemies into signing peace deals, that's not what peace is. Sorry. But whatever. I'm sure many people will just take any result. They'll take the result, right? As long as they sign a treaty and no one shoots nukes at each other, people will accept it. But there's no way you can call it moral of how they got there, right? There's no way you call that moral. So, all right, here we go.
And then you wonder why the world is turning against you. You think Iran considering negotiations under threat of nuclear annihilation proves your point? No, Scott, it proves mine. You mistake compliance under duress for agreement. You confuse fear for consent. And you think the appearance of diplomacy beneath the shadow of a loaded gun equals peace.
Yeah, I'm just getting poetic.
That's not the real world.
Yeah.
That's psychological warfare with a press release. You say treaties matter. They don't. Not when one side tears them up without consequence and the other is punished for honoring them.
There it is. Sorry, yeah, there it is. He's going to say it. JCPOA, yeah.
The U.S. left the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty. Iran didn't. And here you are, threatening them for even thinking of reconsidering the terms. You want to talk about obligations? Start with your own. Start with the U.S. obligations under the Nuclear Proliferation Treaty. Disarmament, non-use, non-proliferation. You violated all three. Let me say it again so that even the empire's priesthood can hear. Iran doesn't owe you obedience. It owes itself survival. If a nation's right to exist depends on surrendering its defenses while being surrounded by nuclear-armed aggressors, then that treaty is not a pact of peace.
That might be the best point he made, and he's made some good points up and down so far, but that one for me it might be my favorite. I like to go into psychology or philosophy. There's no way you call that peace, right?
No.
Fuck.
I just can't wait till you see what Scott Ritter replies.
Yeah. If you take someone that you arrest, right? Like a cop arrests someone, and they threaten them with triple life or some shit like that, unless you sign this paper and agree that you're guilty, we'll only give you 40 years. It's we can call that a confession, but is it really a confession? Are we, philosophically, are we getting anywhere near the truth of the matter? No. And same goes with this. A gun at your head saying, sign the fucking treaty or I pull the trigger, is not a peace deal. That is not peace. In fact, I think it's just delayed crazy shit that could happen later because of the circumstances. Unless someone sane pops up and yo, we're doing this the right way. Let's talk. Let's really talk. Until that happens, it's just crazy person with a gun pointing at everyone if you don't sign this, I'll pull the fucking trigger. The literal antithesis of peace. Fuck. That's a great point right there. But here we go.
It's a leash. You call my words irrelevant, but if they were, you wouldn't still be here, twitching at every sentence, scrambling to reclaim a narrative the world no longer fears. Exactly. You said I made your point for you. No, Scott, I didn't make it. I exposed it.
Oh,
and I
shit.
left it
It's getting
naked
literal.
because behind all of your jargon,
literary.
all your doctrine, all your declarations lies a truth you cannot face. The only reason you speak of law is to delay the day it applies to you. And that day is coming.
Pause.
Okay?
Yeah, super pause.
So, no. I yo, Scott. Yo, man, don't worry. I'm gonna do a video later. Hopefully, I want Jesse here, definitely. I think because he has that mind for that shit. Maybe, but no one else fucking shows up here that often. Fuck. I guess it's me and Jesse. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on these things. On a video I have going on later, which I think will apply to Scott Ritter. especially when this guy's probably walking around touting like, I was UN's weapons inspector during Desert Storm and yada yada, right? When he probably flashes the badge and says like, "Look, I'm official," right? I think that video might apply to that behavior of what he's doing right now. But all right, let's get into this. Is the part where I think I turned it on at Anthony, where just
Okay.
with mystery men, right? So like,
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this? But all right,
Oh, so you did see the response. You didn't see what came before it.
nah, I once again I skimmed it before. I didn't really put too much attention into it. And then I put this on. I still wasn't fully paying attention, but I heard Mystery Men and I saw this picture. But all right, here we go.
All right. And oh no, but that's not the best part. The best part is how his clown ass started to like dig up information about this guy and thinking that the information
That's super
he
weird.
found
I heard that
was,
part too.
like exposed him, which it didn't at all. It just made this guy sound better.
Based on what the
right?
guy said to him, yeah, that's why. That's why what he's doing.
Sorry, say that again.
That's in his character, because he has nothing to say about the points.
Yeah. In like a weird way too. Like I don't know. Would you Google the motherfucker? Like what? Like, I don't get it. Like it sounded pretty weird. But all right, here we go.
So this is what he says. He says, "I've been struggling on trying to pin you down. All this
Pause.
quasi-intellectual, brain-teasing rhetoric that portends to say much but says nothing." Then
No, Scott. I think he nailed it pretty good right there. Maybe he doesn't hear himself and how kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that might be.
I mean, okay. The first point we heard, it does make some logical sense. It is saying 5D chess and trust the plan and Trump's mighty strength,
Yeah.
put the Iranians into submission and made them tap out and say, let's get a peace deal.
But
the counters is too much. God.
Yeah, like you know what I don't see people doing? It's like, yo, Scott, tell me what you really think about the world, so I can have a better idea where you're coming from. Because he's just allowed to spew this shit, but you don't really know who the fuck Scott Ritter is.
Yeah. And that thing I said last night, once again, I'm not even trying to go there as of this moment, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's like that's the shit where like politics, this brain dead behavior. You're telling me you have a guy on your show and you don't know dick about him except he talks about certain world events and garnered attention, so you bring him on, and that's as far as you go into learning about him. Don't even go any further than that. He brings valuable content to my platform.
Yeah.
That's why I platform him.
Yeah. It has an optics to it, right? It's like, oh, even military guys are against this war or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
That's like a thing.
And you can't get Colonel McGregor, so you got to get Scott Ritter.
Yeah. Or like,
essentially what I see.
Yeah, and guess what? There's a lot of tokenizing happening in these content creators and shit. Even this Jewish kid is against the Israeli genocide.
It's like, yo, you guys make fun of the Republican that has that one black friend.
Exactly.
Why is this accepted?
Even Eric Homefries doesn't want a black Superman. See? Oh, fuck. Even he agrees. Yo, stop harassing cops, bro. All right, here we go.
it hit me. You're the Sphinx. What?
She's wrecked.
What? He has lost his mind. All right, so he says, then it hit me. You're the Sphinx. Not the one in Egypt. Which one? No, the West Studi character from the movie The Mystery Men. And then he shows This guy.
By the way, is that worthy of a rewatch? I mean, I'm in for Janine Garofalo alone, but that's all. That would be my only reason to see Janine Garofalo in leather. That's my only reason for rewatching that movie. I think that's my only excuse.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Did Kevin Smith do that movie? I don't know.
I don't even know where that movie came from.
It's like a '90s, maybe 2000s movie. Ben Stiller, I think, is like the lead, and it's like a bunch of superheroes, but it's like pure comedy. It's silly. Point is, Janine Garofalo, leather. I'm in. Even if I put it on mute, I think I'm in, and I skip through it. Yeah, I'm in. All right, here we go. Wait. The point is, like, it's just some obscure movie reference where it's like, what? Now I like feel bad a bit, bro. Cause he's like out of date, bro. It's like an obscure.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's wrecked, bro. That shit. He's trying to come back at him with something. He thinks he's funny. Yeah, it's like he's a boomer that doesn't get it that the jokes don't land anymore.
Like referencing actually referencing an Alfred Hitchcock movie probably would have made more sense. Like more people would know about it than Mystery Men. So what the fuck? Who the fuck have seen? I've seen that as a kid or some shit. That's it. But anyways, here we go. It's whatever. Bizarre.
Can someone wait? Can someone please explain this to me? Does anybody know anything about Mystery Men? What the hell is he talking about?
I don't remember that character at all. You really do.
I was like, when I saw that, I was like, it's like, what is this? Is he?
I think Ben Stiller's like Batman, like, or something.
Okay, so then I saw
I don't
this,
fuck. I
and
don't know.
like,
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Let's see where he's going with this, because I have no idea what he's talking about.
What's that too? What's with the double spacing on every line? Is he he's writing a haiku or some shit, or like poetry?
Yeah, no, the dude replied to him. This is the dude, right?
No, yeah.
Oh, it's Carl Ritter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess they're both writing to each other in double space poetry lines. Okay, here we go.
A Sphinx quote. To learn my teachings, I must first teach you how to learn. See what I mean? Nothing disguised as wisdom. We are number one. All others are number two or lower.
What?
It's not just the air of false intellectualism that rubs me the wrong way. It's the false bravado and hypocrisy. Who's walking around like a fat thug?
Lucy.
Like an angry fat thug.
He's a little fuck, bro.
That
Lucy,
America
you butthead.
to de-arm. Who's the fat thug?
By the way, I am not riding with Lucy on that shit. That Iran should get nukes or anything like that. I am not riding with that one. I understand her logic. It's just I am radical peace and empathy, radically that direction. Like it is what it is. But yeah, it is what it is. I think that's dumb, Lucy. But hey, do your thing, man. Do your thing. Here we go.
All right, so nothing disguised as wisdom.
I just gotta let you know.
Number one. All others are number two.
Is that a doo-doo joke?
Exactly. That's what people are saying about your attitude, Scott. All right. And then he says, you speak of we, Vietnamese, when you did nothing at all.
Ah, shut. Yeah, I caught this part.
The conflict ended in 1975. You were born in 1976.
That's just...
Yeah.
You say, like, if I'm arguing with someone, you say, like, I wouldn't go anywhere near shit like that. That's just weird to me. I don't know. That's just, like, weird to do. Even if I knew, first of all, I wouldn't look it up. But second of all, even if I knew, I'd be like, were you even born yet or something, bro? Like, I'd ask it that way. Like, were you even born when these things were going on? These things you're taking maybe credit for or saying you were a part of? Right? So.
Yeah.
But, yeah. You might be, like, I don't know. You may not realize how weird that looks. But it is what it is. Here we go.
So, What's your point? What is the point there? Your contribution to the war effort was zilch. Oh, okay, so he's not a military man. That's why you don't respect him? Unlike you, who has been working on the wrong side your entire life. All right, so, but you write about the glory of the struggle of the resistance as if you've carried the burden of your nation on your shoulders. Scott, you think you're the resistance when you've been pushing defenseless nations to disarm. You think that has worked in the name of peace? All right. But you weren't even a glint in your
It could if he said all nations should be disarming. All nations should be disarming. I think my mic's like fucked right now or something.
No, I heard you.
You heard me? Okay.
Yeah, I heard you.
See my fucking thing not the light not going off. But yeah, if he says it for all nations, then okay, that's to me that's just being consistent. But once again, if he's just saying America should hold the cards for the rest of the world, then trash. All right, here we go.
All right. But you weren't even a glint in your father's eye when the actual fighting took place. So, and you have the gall to question the credentials of those among us who have actually borne.
That's an old school statement right there.
Scott, what you did.
I'll give him points for that.
Struggle.
Old school statement.
That's what you're not understanding. It wasn't real struggle because you were at the.
You weren't a twinkle in your daddy's eye, bro.
Convincing innocent nations to disarm, and you think you were on the right side.
That's that boomer shit, bro. Like, I walked 25 miles to school every day. You weren't even a twinkle in your daddy's eye yet. That's hilarious. You weren't even a twinkle in daddy's eyes yet before. Like, I was out here busting my ass. All right, there we go. That's hilarious.
And you think that made sense, and you thought you were waging the peace, and you weren't. And now the entirety of your career is crumbling, like the joke that it is. The serious career you had is worth no more than cow dung. It doesn't matter if it was highly compensated. You achieved nothing.
I'm thinking Scott needs a rap career now, bro. He's got to release a diss track.
Shut up, bro.
Okay, so
I got a lot of enemies trying to take away from my energy.
Only trains himself at asking questions. The glory of Vietnam, Imperial Vietnam. You have to be joking at this point. If you're calling Vietnam, you're from America and you're calling Vietnam Imperial Vietnam. Compared to what? Are we playing the both sides game where we're pretending that these countries are in any way equal?
He's actually rapping. Look at this shit, bro. He puts like he'll have some sentences, then he just wait. He's copy and paste. Never mind.
They're thuggery,
right? No, he didn't.
Regardless of what happens on a local level. What the fuck?
I guess the point he's going with is that these guys aren't great either.
Says Imperial Vietnam, and he keeps repeating it. He's like Imperial Vietnam, Imperial Vietnam, Imperial, and then he says North Vietnam sent troops into
Those
Laos
are his ad-libs,
to
bro.
overthrow the legitimate government of Laos.
Why even Scott's way, Lucy?
Lasted from
Fuck.
1959 to 1975.
Let Scott rap, bro.
And saw tens of thousands of Laotians perish at the hands of the North Vietnamese invader. All right, do America now, Scott. Do America now. And then he repeats.
Once again, listen, Anthony, if Scott Ritter was sitting in my shoes, he could actually make sense of this. Of like, yo, they're all like these leaders. They're all bad guys.
Yeah.
He can make some sort of sense of that. Not that I don't know as much about the Vietnam people. I know a little bit more about the U.S. and what they were doing in Vietnam.
Yeah.
But whatever fucking soldiers for Vietnam and Viet Cong and all that shit, I'm sure they did some brutal shit as well. But I don't know as much about them. But the point is, if you're sitting in my shoes, like if it sounds a little bit more morally consistent. But for the fact that you're saying the mighty arm of Trump is gonna fucking put Iran into submission, and he's gonna get them to sign a peace deal that they already signed years ago, that he pulled out of Or he's going to make a nuke. What do you say, Anthony? With China and Russia. He's like, I want to make a nuclear deal. We can cut our nuclear supply by 50% if we make a deal with Russia and China.
I did not hear that.
He said that during this term. It's like, there was a nuclear proliferation treaty thing with Russia. I'm not sure with China, but at least with Russia. And you pulled out of it, too, in your first fucking year. In your first presidency. So, like, now you're trying to go back in and you just want credit for it or something? Like, it's weird. Like, he's doing weird shit. But once again, it is what it is, man. For me, it's no surprise. I'm sure after he has a disastrous presidency that people will eventually say something. They'll be like, wait a minute, that wasn't that great. But maybe. Here we go.
Repeats himself. He says Imperial Vietnam. North Vietnam was involved.
He's rapping,
in
Lucy.
Cambodian
Those are
civil war,
ad-libs.
helping create and support the Khmer Rouge
He's a killer.
in their fight against the legitimate government of Cambodia from 55 to 75, directly resulting in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Cambodians. And then he repeats himself, Imperial Vietnam. In 1979, Vietnam invaded Cambodia. So, like, this is what he thinks. He thinks it's like triggering him for people to just expose the reality that America is the nation that needs to disarm first. That is the priority. That is the global priority.
No, they should all do it at the same time.
And it's making him freak out. Now he's like...
They should all be doing it. But if I was the leader of America, I would showcase that, like, yo, I'm willing to disarm. Like, I'll do it first. What's up, pussies? What's up? Let's do it. What's up?
No, they should, bro.
We don't trust you. You might be playing 8D chess. But yeah, there is no. I don't do that where one nation, because maybe they're a poorer nation or the U.S. has taken advantage of them, doesn't mean some of the leadership doesn't mean they're good people at all, or they're trying to do good or anything like that. So, but I also understand seeing the fucking might of the U.S., but like the fucking creepy, tyrannical might that the U.S. uses across the world. I see why people dislike them so much. I get 100%. 100% get that. But I'm just saying my philosophy. But, you know, I'm a little different than Scott Ritter here. I think I'm a little bit different. But, all right, here we go.
Trying to make out Vietnam to be the United States.
I think you're saying they're bad, too.
And then he repeats himself. Imperial Vietnam. The Vietnamese invasion.
No offense to Scott, I don't trust him enough to say that he's
China in early 1970s.
saying real facts or not, bro. I don't know.
Attacking Vietnam to draw soldiers away from the fighting in Cambodia. Tens of thousands lost their lives in this fighting. And then he repeats himself. Imperial Vietnam. When you can balance the attack hammer on your head, you will head off your foes with a balanced attack. Your father was affiliated with the Viet Cong. He helped defeat South Vietnam in the years leading up to the collapse.
He went that deep? I didn't see this part.
Yeah,
Wow! Stop making him sound good. All right. But in 1978, he put you, your sister and mother on a small boat and fled Vietnam. Wow! You're insulting him for being a refugee. Part of a wave of 500,000 boat people who fled communist persecution.
Jesus Christ.
What happened in this Vietnamese utopia of yours?
What does that have to do with
Vietnamese to arrest more than 1 million people, imprisoning hundreds of thousands, and executing hundreds. You were just a kid growing up on an Indonesian island. What could you possibly know? Nothing, which is my point. But it begs the question as to why you're so silent on this issue. Why did the Vietnamese government turn on the very men and women who participated in the resistance you so glorify? Yep. You must lash out with every limb like the octopus who plays the drums. I think you're a deeply
that was a bad line.
No, Scott. I think
but
you're
also boomer
a
shit.
Deeply conflicted person. trying to justify internally that which cannot be justified, the betrayal of your family at the hands of those they served. Scott, wouldn't you say the same about the American government? How many veterans that fought for American wars have been left on the street homeless, yet you are picking bones about someone that's a refugee from Vietnam? Give me a break. What makes it even more confusing is the fact that your family eventually took refuge in Europe. Europe!
I
What's
know,
wrong
right?
with Europe, Scott? Europe is a...
I know, right, Scott, bro? Europe's so fucking trash, bro. Fuck the trash ass, UK ass motherfreaker, bro.
I already go there.
Trash cans. They're almost as bad as Canada, bro. Trash.
Getting close.
I think I'm on Scott's team here. I'm on Scott's team, bro. Fuck you, Europe. Never liked you. Except for Julie Delpy and...
Oh, here we go.
Alright, I'll shut up. There's a list, though. It's out there.
a nice place. Are you making some kind of point that he's like anti-West or anti-European or something? No one has
Every
any
red-haired
issue with
Irish
people
chick
of
over
Europe.
32
What you
years
have an
old.
issue with
You're all forgiven.
is the thuggery that you are displaying right now. Wow.
Just want to get
And why do
spanked.
you shill for the very government that betrayed your family for all those years? I don't know, Scott. Why do you shill for the very government that has left 1 million homeless on the street over the years? Why do you shill for that government?
I mean, but here's the thing. It is a bit of a whataboutism type of shit that Lucy's doing, but at the same time, it's like Scott can't defend himself against that because we just heard what he said, bro. Like, sorry, dude, you made your own bed, so you're welcoming these as counterpoints, and they hold up because of what you fucking said. And then once again, the Tom Brady reference, I beg people to go like rewatch that shit. That shit's crazy. If you're a sports fan and you understand what he's talking about with like football and shit like that,
yeah,
I'm telling you, that shit is wreckage. Because I'm like, this makes no sense in reality at all. Like, it really doesn't. The metaphor ain't metaphoring, bro. It ain't working. But all right, here we go.
When you care what is outside, what is inside cares for you. Yup, you're the
What?
Sphinx, which is to say you're nothing. Problem solved. And then he shows a picture of this guy.
Look at Lucy.
This guy has lost his mind.
Insulting him.
You know, he's just lost his mind. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. All right?
Show him your tweet,
then-
Lucy. He's a fat dog.
Juliana, day 3 is Twitter face planting in my feed, dying on this crusty ass hill to rebrand America being Israel's bitch as some kind of noble quest for justice. Just say it's another kosher smokescreen to bomb Iran because Tel Aviv is having a panic attack. No one is buying the moral cosplay. And he was calling everybody else a moralist, right?
No, that's me, for sure. I'm definitely a moralist.
The last two sentences
No, I'm not. I'm Jordan.
particularly were
But
resonating
you know what I mean.
with me last night, hearing
Whatever.
Scott speak to George Galloway about Iraq.
Her other rival, bro.
There are
Get
Americans
'em
who have
loose.
come
Yeah, her
to
other
wars
rival,
on
her op.
technicalities,
Get them
but
loose.
they can't admit to themselves the crystal
know.
clear illegality of them. U.S. leadership and the military, along with our media, use this media type of legalistic rhetoric incorrectly on a regular basis. America's right to protect its interests under these laws ends at its borders. None of the legalese they wrap themselves in are applicable in real life to colonial or neo-colonial exploits.
Now, once again, I would want to ask the American people, like, forget about laws and rules of the world and all that shit. What do you think is the right thing to do? And then, if they go into the legal aspect of it, like, based on your own rules that you are following, this is still not right. Like, there's still something wrong with this, I would think. But once again, it's like, fuck the written laws, man. Why are we doing stupid for? It's dumb. What do we think is right? Like, listen, you may have different morals than I have, but at least be consistent with yours. And that's where most people fuck themselves over with. They state some morals, but they don't actually stick to it. And that's where the wreckage begins. And it happens way more than people realize. But let's be real, more and more people just want to kind of discard any idea of morals when they do things. Just being honest. But all right, here we go. Wanted to say that.
Iraq and Afghanistan never posed any threat to the U.S. at home, so there is no such thing as proportionality. The wars themselves are wholly illegal. At the end of the day, all of America's illegal wars and occupations, the government's overthrown, all the death squads it's funded to carry out pogroms against leftist movements, every single death at the hands of the U.S. in these situations was a crime. Crying or praying for your victims doesn't atone for that, but Nuremberg gives us a sense of what culpability looks like when a rogue empire falls.
Politics, politics, politics. Something borrowed. Like in my opinion, I'm like, those type of statements just borrowed. In my opinion, they're not like, damn, did you do some sort of self-investigation to figure out what is right and what is wrong in the world according to you? Fuck everyone else. According to you, what is right and wrong in the world? But instead, it smells awfully a lot like borrowed ideas, which is just boring, you know? That ain't fun. Don't you want to be Batman or Superman or Neo or some shit? Fuck, we want to be Bob, background character Bob. Who the fuck wants to be that guy? A copycat of a copycat. Fuck that shit. Anyway, sorry. Here you go. No offense to that guy, whoever wrote that.
That's exactly why figures like Alan Dulles opposed them. They knew the policy they were enacting was a giant international crime spree, and they did everything in their power to obscure that reality and prevent the consequences for coming back to them.
But if you're a subscriber, then you're a genius, and thank you for writing such a beautiful statement.
He's lost his mind.
Lucy's she's ADDing through your Twitter. Don't do it.
And yes, he and his whole "We Are So Great America" are evil to the core. He is bloody fucked. America is irrelevant. Soon he will realize this for himself. What a bloody bastard.
She almost said black bastard. I'll forgive you, Lucy. Don't worry. Just say it though. Next time, say it.
Simply just saying the U.S. doesn't care, will do whatever it wants, and don't think about the consequences, which makes them irrational and dangerous. Poetic truth. You are tearing him into pieces time after time. Please collect your annihilation of Ritter's real-world garbage into a single PDF.
I'll keep it a buck. The Sonny Thong, he's the one who did it, bro. He wrecked this shit. He was very coherent, took the points, and dismantled them. And sorry, even if that guy is fucking Hitler, he still wrecked your shit, Scott Ritter. And you have to you should read it and actually pay it, give some actual attention to it. Pretend it's not an enemy. Pretend it's you talking to yourself or something. Like actually give it credence. Listen to it for a second. That's what I would say. You know. But hey, we don't live in that world, bro. Sometimes in politics, you gotta win. Must defeat the enemy. There's Kyle Collins. If you're not with us, you're the enemy. It's like, damn, George Bush couldn't have said it better, bro. God damn. Someone's saying that about you right now, Kyle. Someone is literally saying that in a boardroom somewhere because, let's be real, you're rich, you're relatively famous in the political world. You can start rallies, you can interview people. That means you're on a list, bro. You are noticed by someone, and they will actively work against you and say, you're the fucking enemy. But that's just another topic, you know, whatever. Does she keep going with this, or where she is it? That's the end of the exchange?
You can end it here. You can place it in.
Okay. Hey, listen. Scott, he sounds like it's prideful, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it pride? It sounds like it's pride. Especially that Tom Brady reference is crazy. But go ahead.
I remember the one yesterday too, where he's like, I was right, but he was right, and then something made it seem that he might have been wrong, but then he remembered that he was right, so he was never wrong. You know what I mean? He's a rap. He is the rapper, dude. Scott Ritter should be rapping right.
Oh, listen, no, I messed up. I got that wrong. And, you know, it
But
is
my
what it
initial
is.
thought, so I was never wrong.
So when you say you were wrong, like, can you say what you got
No.
wrong?
He said, no, I'm not wrong. Yeah, no, I'm not wrong. He's like, I'm glad you admit that. Hey, I ain't admit nothing. I'm not wrong.
You see, when Tom Brady, like, stop it. Stop it.
And
Good
luckily,
God.
he was talking to doormat Sabby, so there was no
Open doors.
no question.
God dang. Well,
Sabby's like, you done? You done? All right, see you next time.
hey, listen. Ah, man. Yeah, they got
Oh,
some work to do out there, huh?
there's another video I sent you. That I don't know if you watched,
What?
of Jamal Thomas and Garland Nixon. Trump threatens Iran, and now Putin has to respond.
I saw the video there. I did not watch it, but it's for another time. For now, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you feel like. Comment, agree, disagree. Tell me what you think. I mean, I think it's just kind of patently obvious what happened here, but I'm open to opinions. I'll hear you out.
He got his feels.
Hey, I'll hear anyone out. Go ahead, say your opinion. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them, donate. Thank you. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in, and then you wanna get out. When you get the money to buy yourself a car.